Okay, everybody, welcome back. Now that we know which one that we're going to pursue here, let's go ahead and roughen up the rest of the letters. So, I don't want to worry about it being too precise, as this is just an example. So, I just want to get the idea of this. So I got my brush tool. I'm going to pick the same color here. Okay. And make sure I got the right kind of brush. I'm going to check this out. Okay, I'm back on the hard round. That's fine. I'm going to check my eraser too, and it's on brush. That's great. And double check it's on hard round as well. Okay, let's get in there. So I'm going to just kind of look at the letters, see what I need to do. Okay, looks just minor little touches on the. So let's start with, I'll start with a brush and make it pretty small and just kind of roughen it up. And this is basically going to be just to give it a little bit of a texture. Okay, now look, I'm on the wrong layer here. I'm on my group over here and the pixels are locked. So luckily I couldn't do anything and I didn't mess it up. So always got to check where we're at. So I was starting with the, which isn't there. It's right here. Okay, so these are my large letters, large. And just to help keep things straight in my head, I'm going to label them in small. Okay. So it may make more sense to work from layer to layer, but I already said I'm doing this one, so let's do this one here. There we go. Okay, I want to keep that brush even smaller. I don't want it to get too... I want to match the anti-aliasing that's already going on, in the letter, in the design of the letter. Okay. Switch to my eraser. Again, just minor touch-ups. Too much right there. Go smaller. And the thing you can always do is we can always go back and adjust the letters. Like if we don't like the way the bevel is acting in a certain part, we can always go back and fix it. It's not a big thing. And which is what I would do if I was designing this, right? Obviously for the first time and trying to get it to look good. I would definitely want to go in and touch things up as I saw fit. Okay, so I'm going to move over to my other medium-sized letters, which let's find up here. Of the nothing too crazy, same thing. Just add a little bit of texture here. So just going to knock out some bits, some edges here. Add some in, and there's no real rhyme or reason. Like it's just what I feel like, switching back and forth. It's not like there's a correct order or anything like that. Didn't mean to do that. Let's get rid of that one there. And I got my fingers kind of hovering over the keyboard on my offhand, right? That's not on my pen tool. If you have a mouse, whatever's not on your mouse, right? Just got it hovering over there to be ready to hit Command Z at the moment I mess up. And ready to kind of switch back and forth between my eraser and my brush. And just trying to keep this looking natural, I guess. Naturally beat up, if that's a thing. All right, back and adding a little bit in. Not too much maybe there. And all the little changes in the edge are going to help the texture do something. Right, even if it's like a minor little pixel here or there, it will help the chisels have something to react off of. Okay, let's see. And the E. A little more than I intended there, especially with the letters being so small. And really, depending on the time you want to take on stuff, like when you want to be careful, and let's say you're doing this, probably a good idea to check even how things are reacting before I even finish, all these letters, just to see how the different sizes react, because all that stuff kind of plays into the way it goes. And I might have done too much, quite honestly. Looking at them from farther away. But all right, we'll live with it and see. Okay, let's do the big letters. Going to large, and on this one I have the transparent pixels locked because I already painted this yellow, mustardy or gold colored. So I'm going to have to unlock the transparent pixels on this layer here. That way I can erase. If I don't do that, it will not erase properly. Okay, let's look at the O. Not too much going on. No big holes or anything. Just rough edges. The one thing that's, I guess, I don't know about nice is the right word, that's different about the version that was not anti-aliased is that I don't have to really worry about my edge so much. I can just, as long as I'm doing the pencil tool, I know that I'm going to get those perfect pixel blocks. And as long as I do the eraser in the pencil tool, I know I'm going to get a clean, block erased. So it's kind of advantageous in that way, maybe. But now I kind of have to think about the way my edges and make sure I'm matching the same kind of style. Okay, good enough. All right, the R. It's got a little. The only major thing I can see is a chunk here and maybe a little chunk there. So let's kind of mark those. There's some kind of diagonal kind of cut there, and I can fill it back in. Right. So here when I change the brush sizes, because I'm using the brush, it's going to change the amount of blend that the brush has between the black, the color it's applicating, and the edge. So all that kind of makes, a difference, which is one advantageous thing about using the pencil. But I think this does look better. So Why do it the easy way when we can do it the hard way? It's not a great motto, is it? Okay, let's take a look again. Even though I know it's the same. Okay, checking out the D. D's got a lot going on here. Big old chunk up there. I said up, but it's down. Nothing up about that. Something like that. Chunk kind of in the middle, a little slice being taken out over here. Comes a little more of a point though. And some chunks at the top here taken out. Okay, those are all my large chunks, so let's just rough it up now. Try and go a little faster here. A little more haphazard. I think erasing actually goes a little smoother for some reason. Okay. Whoa, that was a big chunk. Easy, buddy. Okay, going in with the brush just to add a little bit, just so it's not all erased. Whoops. All right, cool. Moving over to the R. Let's look at the R. There it is, back there. All right, lots of big chunks taken out as well. One up in the corner there. And kind of nasty little chunk right here. And I don't have this set to go thinner, so because I'm using the hard round. I'm going to try switching to the hard round pressure, and that's going to allow my brush to get thinner. And you won't be able to do that if you're using a mouse. And even on the bottom there's some bits missing. Okay, and a chunk down here, something like that. Okay. Beating up this side a bit. There we go. It's almost like the lack of ability to draw straight lines is coming into play here and making it actually working for me, right? Like sometimes we naturally can just try to trace it, the edge here, and it'll just become chunky. Although I am wiggling my pen back and forth a little bit. But. All right, all right. Back to the eye. Eye looks all right, except for this little ding taken out of it down there. I saw it kind of got larger right there. Okay. Let's see what the top is. Just a little thing taken out there. Not really taken out, just dips. All right, that's it for the eye. Let's move on to the N. Little thing there. Another little thingy next to it. Then a little bite taken out of it down below. Maybe an orc. Got a little hungry. Ooh, missed. Okay. Just looking if it got thicker noticeably in any parts. This part looks a little thin to me, so I'm going to kind of bring it back up a little bit. Okay, actually the N kind of does an interesting little swoop there. I don't know if they changed the letter or what. All right, looking back up at it, and looks like it got a little thicker there. I'm gonna widen the letter. Looks like it gets thin in one spot, but I kind of don't like the way it looks. Or the part where it gets thin. Okay. Now we're talking about a G. All right, just got some bits missing up here. A little bite mark. And this is another way. If we knew we were going to go to this step, or if you knew, I did know because I've done this before, but we could have just gotten rid of the serif here as well. That is another way to do it. If you just know, well, I'm going to take it into Photoshop and mess with it anyways. But I think it's nice to come from a clean Illustrator version that is as near perfect or correct as you can get. Just an option. Let's see this G thing here. All right. Missed once again. All right. Let's get the eraser. Which is more my favorite. Wow, I really dinged up that side. I'm going to back off a little bit. Just looking for areas where it looks a little clean, a little too clean. And then we got the S. Let's see what's going on in this S. Okay, a little melty mark down there. And I think that was it for the big things. Maybe a little, something looks like it's scratched or kind of going in there a little bit. All right, let's hit this edge. Okay. I see the end in sight, and it makes me happy. End in sight. Okay, let's take a look at these letters close up. See what's going on. They look pretty straightforward. They're so small, I don't know if it'd be great to mess with them. We're going to leave them for now. Let's see how it looks. Okay. All right, feeling good about this. I'm going to make this a little smaller, dragging that part up. So we got to paint them all this gold color. So let's go ahead and lock the transparent pixel. Actually, I'm going to save my work. File, save. I am going to now, since we're all ready to go, got it all chunked up, let's go ahead and paint them all. So I'm going to go ahead and lock the transparent pixels. I'm going to go to the medium and lock the transparent pixels and the small and lock them all. Okay, do I got these locked there? Okay, just locking the transparent pixels, right? Not the full lock. That'll not let you do anything to the whole layer. But this will just lock the transparent pixels. Now I got to go, I'm on my paintbrush there. And we want to make this nice and big. And we want to select the same color we have here. I mean, we could change the color if we feel like it wasn't quite right. So let's take a look at it here. There's a lot of red going on in their logo. So maybe I'll bring this a little closer to the red here. Let's see how that does things. And if it's wrong, it is not a big deal. It's as easy as it is to paint them. So watch the small letters, done, painted. Medium letters, I got the opacity on 100. I got my brush nice and big. It's just going to paint them all in one go. So super easy to change the color if you want to mess with it. So let's just see how this slightly more reddish one looks. There we go, all painted. No big thing. And I can turn on my effect there. Ooh, I do like it a little more red. I might get away from the gold feel a little bit, but it looks cool. Okay, so I'm going to take this layer effect and I want to adjust it. I'm sorry, I want to copy it and put it on the medium size layers. So let's go ahead and right click on it and copy layer style. I am now going to go down to my medium size letters. And I'm going to right click on it and I'm going to hit paste layer style. And there it is. Okay, so let's get in there and see how it's feeling. I think I need to tighten up the shadow for sure. So I'm going to go ahead and click on the medium here. Now I have my effects down below it. I click on the drop shadow. So I'm going to bring that open. And I'm going to take the distance and I'm going to bring it a little closer. It's not so far. And I think that's okay. It's a little stronger, the opacity. I can see that really dark kind of shadow underneath there. But definitely too red. These letters are definitely too red. But let's see what happens if I go to bevel and emboss and I go to my color here. Let's see if I make it a little more yellow. If that does anything to it. Is it okay? Not so much. Make the color stronger. The yellow definitely becomes stronger. Okay, I'm in lighten. Let's just see what happens if I go to something else. Nothing. I don't think I want to do color burn. No, definitely. Did the opposite of what I was thinking. Overlay. That's what I was thinking. So I like the overlay because it does give it that different color here. But you know what I think I need to do now that I'm thinking about this? So I'm going to cancel my layer style. I'm going to go back to my drop shadow. I'm going to redo it here. Bring the distance in. And then I'm going to make it a little bit darker. I'm going to try one other thing here. I'm going to go to the bevel and emboss. And I'm going to mess with the shadow mode. Let's see what happens if I make this a little more on the red end. If I take my shadow. Yeah, let's see. Nothing. Oh no, it does something. I was looking at the wrong letter. So definitely bring some red in there. I like that. Let's see if I go a little brighter. Yeah, I think that's going to work for me. I think I'm going to have to make the colors more yellow. And then use a little more red in my shadow as opposed to the just straight black. Okay, so let's mess with this a little bit more. And I know I'm going to go back, but I want to adjust the color first. So I'm going to hit OK. I'm going to take off my effect, take off all the effects. I don't have them on the small letters yet. That's okay. And let's go ahead and pick my color. So I got B for brush. And I'm going to zoom out. Again, remember this is really quick. We can go here, select my gold color, and let's get it a little more in the yellow zone. So, I'm just going to select it straight from the Lord of the Rings thing. I'm going to pick the darker kind of yellow color up here. Let's see how this works. Let's go to the large letters. Once again, the transparent pixels are still locked. And let's go to the small letters. Okay. This may be too light. Well, that is looking closer. That is definitely looking closer. Like it. I like it. So what I'm going to do here, my medium letters have the effect I like. So I am going to go to my large and I am going to clear the layer style. Let's get rid of that. We're going to copy it again from the medium letters. Copy the layer style. Go to large letters, right click, and paste the layer style. And that is getting in the zone I like. Okay, I'm gonna darken it up though, so maybe I shouldn't have pasted it so quickly. Well, let's just stick with this. Well, the large letters are a little easier to see, so I'm gonna work with this. It's just a little darker, so let's see if we can do that. Go to bevel and emboss. Go there. I'm just gonna darken those a little bit. See how what that does for me here. Did it do anything? Maybe. Sometimes you just got to go extreme and see what happens. Nothing. Let's see. That did something. And we don't want that. I just wanted to see the change. Yeah, that zone's looking pretty good to me. Let's hit OK there. Like it. I like it. All right, I think this is what I'm going to go with here for this. Very happy with that. So that's the style I want. So I'm going to go ahead and actually, now once again, I'm doing the opposite of what I did here. I'm going to go to this medium letters, and I'm going to clear the layer style. If I could say it correctly. Clear layer style. And I'm going to copy the layer style. And I'm going to paste the layer style. And once again, I know it's going to mess with my drop shadow, but that's super easy fix. I'm not really worried about. Now that I got the colors in the right zone. And now let's take a look at the little letters, okay? So I'm going to copy the layer style from the medium just because I know they're small. Copy layer style. Go to my small letters right here. And I am going to paste the layer style. And let's see what it looks like. Well, I didn't have to do as much adjusting to it as I thought I would. It looks like kind of what they did. Quite honestly. The bevel's just super tiny, but it kind of looks tiny. Yeah, good enough for me. A little blurry in spots. Some parts look sharper, which is interesting. And some look blurrier. Like that G looks pretty sharp. The K looks kind of blurry. Guess it's just when you're zoomed out. But yeah, it looks like the right idea. I don't think there's much reason to change it. Well, you can tweak with it more. You can play with it infinitely, but I do not want to burn all the YouTube hours But there it is. Let's check it out on a black background. So I just turned off the pick. Let's go to the background here, and I'm gonna go ahead and select black with my paint bucket. So I'm gonna go to the paint bucket, or G is the shortcut to that, or the gradient tool, but whatever one is selected. But I'm on the bucket. I'm gonna go ahead to my swatches, not swatches, my palette down here, and you see it has a little black and white there. I can go there and it'll switch it to straight black and white. You can also go anywhere, up to your swatches, wherever. And just gonna go there, and it's locked because I locked it earlier. Let's unlock it, dump that in, and let's see what it looks like. I'm gonna move my layers just out of the way. I'm gonna pick it up, put it within this box, sharing it with history, and check it out. Okay, not bad. I like it. I think it did the trick for me. I'm going to keep it white though, just so we can see that drop shadow, I guess. Well, no, I like it on. Let's see. Let's compare it one more time. I mean, sure, that looks all right, but let's be real. The black looks cooler. That looks cooler. Okay, I'm going to leave it like this for now. Don't forget to save it. Hopefully, you guys learned something about making logos. And this is a very extreme logo in terms of lots of effects and lighting and chunks taken out of it. Uh, and not that every logo should have that. That would be kind of a little overkill a lot of times, but definitely very appropriate for this movie and the look of the whole thing. And hopefully, doing all those effects gave you an idea of how you can pull them off for your logo designs. All right, well, that will do it. Hopefully, you guys got something good out of this. Hopefully, you guys had a good time making this logo and learned some good stuff. And I'll see you on the next one.